At the start of proceedings in Group D, there was only 2 points separating Tottenham at the top and Marseille at the bottom. Marseille had a stand closed as well because of crowd trouble in an earlier game, and Antonio Conte was not on the sidelines for Spurs. He'd been banned from the touchline, had to watch in the stands instead.
Thanks, Steve. We start with football, and Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp says they won't be caught out by their Champions League semi-final opponents Villarreal tonight.
So we'll definitely get some goals against Saudi Arabia. I'm almost certain of that. But, you know, what about the knockout stages? I don't know.
Cheers, Sanny.
I can't believe I've just written off Lionel Messi. What am I doing?
So, Sanny, who else is through?
Well, Kelly, I've had 25 goals across my games, and Benfica have made it through. They beat Juventus 4-3. Brilliant game at Estadio de Luz. Up with big ideas to bring the World Cup across the globe. South Africa in 2010 was the first African nation to host it. Qatar in 2022 will be the first Arab nation to host the World Cup.
Has the world moved on now?
Well, for Blatter, with this huge personality, if he was younger, he probably would come back, but he's approaching his 90s now.
The reigning Formula One world champion Max Verstappen secured a comfortable victory at the Dutch Grand Prix. The win extends the Dutchman's lead in the World Championship standings to 109 points.
It's always special to win your home Grand Prix.
And to the winner of the Singapore Grand Prix, una disculpa, Sergio Perez. Sorry I called you Sebastian before. His teammate Max Verstappen
He's a keen listener.
Usually grabs the headlines but could only finish 7th. So Checo Perez and his aficionados Mexicanos texting in, perdóname, forgive me.
For squad goals, of course, across BBC Local Radio and on the BBC Sport website. So much to get our teeth into.
And a winger who twice knocked out cancer before picking Rochdale up off the canvas. It's EFL Cinderella man Joe Thompson.
Wow. When it wasn't Sikander Razza's bowling, he had a safe pair of hands to rely on. Shan Masood taken by Regis Chakardha. Could Pakistan keep their heads?
See that horse come charging by, galloping, and it was a bit mental, to be honest. And now, because I was sort of in the zone and I was sort of concentrating, and it was windy and it was raining, and it sort of come out of nowhere, and I was a bit shocked at first. And yeah, it's a pretty cool event.
That experience must have been totally different to everything else you've experienced. I mean, you're a former world champion fell runner, of course. You've been around the block, to say the least, and been all over the world.
And yet we have this factory that produce footballers, British footballers coming through the system, and so many of them are just, discarded.
Yeah, it's funny because I read some comments on the YouTube, because the piece is now on YouTube, and I see people saying, "Oh, just get a normal job," and I completely understand that. These are the rewards of playing professional football. It's one of the best jobs in the world. I loved it, but very few jobs ask you to make that level of commitment from the age of 5, 6. Very few jobs ask you to skip days of school from the age of 14.
In essence, Manchester United fans have been upset since 2005, and that's when the Glazers first took over Manchester United. This leveraged buyout that ended up putting the club in an enormous amount of debt that subsequently they've just been servicing the interest on that debt, and as a result haven't made any investment really into the infrastructure of the club. And of course now we've got to the point where results on the pitch are kind of matching how a lot of fans have felt about the actions of the club off the pitch. So that's kind of the background to this. And today, I've been stood here for the last half an hour or so as fans have been arriving to the ground, and there's a real mixed set of fans who are protesting the club at the moment. I saw a mother and son walking past me earlier with a yellow and green banner that said "Glazers out."
Huge problem within football. I mean, one thing we're not actually really talking about is actually the prevention of such a huge disease and the aftercare. I think this part, is at the moment not be discussed or not even being actually taken care of.
And as a central defender, how much pressure did you feel under to get back on the pitch? And Sydney Thunder's stand would last 24 minutes. Matthew Gilks setting the tone out for naught, and that would be one of not 2 or 3 ducks, with England's Alex Hales being the 4th wicket to fall, or even 4, but 5 ducks, as the Thunder set about chasing down not their opponent's score, but seemingly Turkey's 2019 record of 21 runs for an all-time low. A new meaning to getting your ducks in a row.
And with 7 to go, the turnaround was complete. Takuma Asamo's emphatic finish helping the Samurai Blue put Germany to the sword. Flicks picks humbled, but Japanese joy in Doha. Sanny Rudravajhala, BBC News.